Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing another homeschool video to add to our homeschool video playlist, and it is going to be 5 things that nobody is probably going to tell you when you start homeschooling, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you that right now. So welcome to our channel. If you are new here, I would love to have you as a subscriber. This is a playlist that we do on our channel for homeschool. So if you are into homeschool stuff, I'm gonna post the link to our playlist down below. And if you love family vlogs, which is what we do all the time, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. So let's go ahead and jump right in. The number 5 thing that I don't think anyone's going to tell you when you start to homeschool is that you are probably never going to be alone again. I mean, honestly, let's face it, like when you have a bunch of little humans running around 24/7 and they're not in public school, you're gonna find it really difficult to have a lot of alone time. I mean, your time is gonna be spent doing laundry, teaching, correcting. You're gonna be doing a lot of things with your children, and it's not a bad thing. It's just that you're going to be very, very busy. You're going to be doing schedules. You know, you're going to be making lunches and dinners, and you're going to be cleaning up those messes and dinners, and you're going to have your kids asking you lots of different questions about school. So you are going to find it a little bit difficult to have alone time, but again, that's okay. Like, I've come to realize that I don't like need to have a lot of alone time, and if I do, there's always like locking myself in the bathroom. Okay, no, I'm kidding. So what I recommend is that you and your husband have a day of the week that you plan and you go out on your date, because that is super essential. I find that like gives me the energy and the restart that I need for the week. So definitely make sure that you have time for that, whether it's with your husband or a girlfriend, but make time for yourself at least once a week so that you have that little bit of freedom and you're not feeling so like I'm just with little kids all day long, because that can get a little bit difficult sometimes. So definitely make time. Okay, so number 4 thing that people probably aren't going to tell you is that there are going to be some things that absolutely surprise you about yourself. So there are things that I never knew about myself until I started homeschooling. For instance, I never knew that I could actually be good at homeschooling. Never knew it. I never wanted to homeschool. I always figured that I would fail at it and it would not be something that I would enjoy doing. But when we started homeschooling, like a whole new world was opened up to me, and I actually really started to enjoy homeschooling. I genuinely enjoy teaching my children. I really do. Like when I taught Shiloh to read, Shiloh's our 7-year-old, and last year I taught him how to read, and it was a huge eye-opening moment. It was like, wow, I didn't know that I was actually capable of that. So that really hit home for me. So I have learned an insane amount of patience with my children. So I always kind of looked at myself as a person who had a lot of patience, but when I started homeschooling, I was seriously tested with that patience. Your kids are with you all the time, every little thing that they do, and you start to run low on your patience. But I think you're gonna surprise yourself at how many like little things that will happen that you'll be able to just let go, because all the little things don't really matter. And so that's kind of what I've learned over the course of my homeschooling, is that your patience is going to be tested, but it really is going to depend on what you do with it. So when I have an issue that happens with my children that is testing my patience, I've got to ask myself, is this really going to is this going to be a big deal? Is this going to really hinder his or her life or mine? Can I just let it go? And oftentimes, probably way more than not, the answer is going to be yes. And you're just going to let it go and ride. And when the big situations come, that's when you can maybe get into more like, okay, I need to be more serious. I can't let this go. But having the patience to be able to let something go is really important. Okay, so the number 3 thing that people are probably not going to tell you when you are homeschooling, and actually I'm going to pretty much guarantee that they're not going to tell you this. So there are going to be some very, very ugly days. And I don't want to scare you, but I really wish that somebody would have told me this when I first started homeschooling. So if you guys have been watching my vlogs for any length of time, you have probably seen my homeschool morning fail video. And if you haven't, I'll post a little iCard up here somewhere for you to see. But that day I had planned on this beautiful morning. I was like, I had my schedule ready the night before. I had all the books out and everything ready. And I said, we are going to go and we are going to do this homeschool. It's going to be beautiful. We're going to have rainbows and flowers and everything's going to go perfect. It did not end that way. So we started our morning and my 3-year-old son wanted juice on the counter. And so my 11-year-old son gave him some juice. Long story short, he throws the juice off the counter. It splatters everywhere, like all over my cabinets, all the way up to the ceiling. Like, I'm not kidding. That was a really ugly day because that little event spiraled the rest of the day. He was crabby the rest of the day, which made the other kids kind of crabby. We did not get the schoolwork done in the schedule format that I had planned, and it just overall was not a good homeschool morning. So there are going to be days where just absolutely nothing falls into place for you. And that is going to be like a little bit hard, I think, for a lot of people to accept, because I know it was hard for me to accept. I wanted every day to be this perfect homeschool morning that I assumed all these other homeschool moms were doing, and I see them and I'm like, oh, their mornings must be fantastic. But it just doesn't always end that way. That's not how every single day is. I don't think that people talk about this enough. And I want to say that because I see so many people on Facebook and Instagram, they're posting these beautiful, perfect homeschool days. And it's like, well, yes, there are days like that. There are plenty of wonderful days that fulfill you in every single way, and it makes up for those bad days. But there are a lot of really ugly days. And I think that more people need to be talking about these, because it is not always going to be pretty butterflies and rainbows. There are going to be those days where your kids wake up super crabby and you're just like, what is going on? They're crabby all the time. There's going to be days where you wake up crabby. You're going to be the crabby one and you're not going to want to do the work. And when those mornings and days come, you just need to be able to take your schedule and throw it out the window. Honestly, that's just what you need to do, because you do not need to homeschool every single day. If there are those ugly days that come up, you just need to be able to give yourself some grace. Give yourself the grace to say, hey, this isn't working today. My little kids need me. They need me to be there. Read some books on the couch, you know, watch an educational show. You might have days where you just need to do that, and you have to accept that that's going to be okay. I have come to the point where I have accepted that that is okay, and having ugly days are just part of the homeschooling experience. Okay, so number 2 thing that people probably won't tell you about homeschool is you are probably going to have to teach some stuff that you will not like. Things that you will not be interested in. Things that actually make you want to lose your mind. So for instance, I feel very strongly about not teaching math. I do not enjoy math. I don't want to do math. But it is seriously something that still has to be done. So when I first started homeschooling, I was told over and over by so many different homeschool parents, this is the best curriculum. No, that is the best curriculum for math. And it was really overwhelming. And because I didn't enjoy this subject at all, I was just like, tell me what to do. Like, tell me what to do. Tell me what curriculum to buy. And it just never worked. I was never happy with what we were doing in math. So I felt extremely miscombobulated. Math was not my thing, but I eventually found something that worked for us. And in general, you just need to be able to do what works for you instead of comparing yourself to all the other homeschool moms who might be doing Saxon math or Bob Jones math or something that's just too complicated for your family and life. I'm going to go ahead and post up here my homeschool curriculum video, and you can check out what we do for math if that interests you. Okay, so the number 1 thing that nobody is going to tell you when you start homeschooling is, and it's a big one, this is a big number 1, you guys, you might get lonely. You really might get lonely. When you're homeschooling, your days are filled with correcting, scheduling, making 1,000 decisions a day for a ton of little humans that are running around you, depending on how many kids you have. But you're making so many decisions for them. They're asking you questions. They've got school assignments for you to look at. You've got cleaning and meals and grocery shopping, and I kind of went over that in the number 4. But honestly, it can sometimes get a little bit lonely out there. So if you're a part of a homeschool co-op, definitely utilize that. Make some mom friends. Make some play dates with your kids. This is one of the big reasons why I loved Classical Conversations, because it got me out there into a community of other like-minded parents, and my kids got to be around other kids who are doing the same thing as them. Now, we're not doing Classical Conversations at the moment, but it is something that I will definitely be looking back into depending on where we live. Because you need to be around other people who are more like-minded. You may not have a lot of support in your family or friends for you know, homeschooling. And so it can sometimes get a little bit lonely, and that's okay too. Like, those are things that I have learned, that it's okay to feel that way, because even though people aren't posting that on Facebook and Instagram, that their day was extremely lonely and all they did was wipe poopy diapers and clean up juice spilled all over the floor for their homeschool day, it's happening. And I know it's happening because there is no homeschool parent who is perfect out there, whether they're saying it or not. I know I'm not perfect, and that is just okay. It has to be okay, because your children are more important than the spilled mess on the floor and the perfect curriculum and the perfect schedule. Give yourself some grace. Really, 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 truly, I am still learning this today. I am still telling myself, okay, you just need to give yourself some grace today, because yes, everything is a mess and I feel lonely and I just need to lock myself with chocolate in the bathroom. Okay, seriously. So it's okay. It's gonna happen. You're gonna feel lonely sometimes, but make those changes, make those steps that you can say, hey, I just need a mom friend. Have them come over, call them up and say, hey, wanna bring your kids over? My house is a disgusting mess, and there's, you know, it probably smells like poop in here, but can you just come over and hang out with me? Do that. So I hope that it doesn't scare you that you may get lonely with homeschool, but it is a very raw truth. So make sure you take those steps, and don't be afraid to tell people what's going on. I know that I've been afraid of that in the past. I'm like, I don't want people to judge me, especially with all of the social media perfection that is showed out there. It is not perfect. I'm not perfect, and your homeschool day will never be perfect. So just let that be okay and do the best that you can, because that is the best. Okay guys, so I have a bonus material for you. I did 5 things that people want to tell you about homeschool, but I had to throw in number 6 just to sum all this up. So bonus. Okay, bonus is that you will probably throw all your rules straight out the window. Your schedule is probably never going to be how it is. But the truth is, how many of you homeschooling moms have made up your perfect schedule and it's never been that perfect day for you? Yeah, probably very, very little of you, unless you're absolutely perfect, which I am definitely not. So if you are in that perfect category, link your channel down below, because I would love to see what you do. Anyways, you guys are going to adapt. You will adapt to whatever comes your way, and you're going to surprise yourself with the way that you will handle your homeschool days, whether it's, you know, the spilled juice, or whether it is the beautiful day that you imagine, because I do have so many days where I love the day that went on. My kids, they wanted to learn, they were eager, we wrote, we read, we did everything we were supposed to do, and it was a wonderful day. So you're gonna have a lot of those days, but when the bad days come or the lonely feelings come in, you just need to be able to adapt and understand that that's normal and okay. And I think if you can do that, you are just going to hit this homeschool like life on the head with your nail. It is just going to be perfect. So I hope that this video has been really encouraging for a lot of you, and also just letting you know some raw truths, because I know I wish I had some of this information when I first started homeschooling. So thank you guys again for watching, and again, if you are new, go ahead and subscribe to our channel, because if you guys love these homeschool videos, I would love to make more. So let me know in the comments below if you would like to see more. But thank you, and we will see you guys next time.